Today we're talking about how to multiply more than one term. So we're going to follow the exact same rules that we followed before. Anything I write on my paper, you should write on your paper too. So I'm just multiplying in order from left to right. My rules of order of operations tell me when I do multiplication and division, always go left to right. Today we are only worrying about multiplication and division. So in example 1, I'll start left to right. -2 times -4, those have the same signs, so my answer will be positive, and 2 times 4 is 8. So I'm thinking now 8 times what was already there, which is -6. Once I see 8 times -6, I'm going to go ahead and look at that as a new problem. In this new problem, I've got a positive times a negative. Those are different signs, so my answer will be negative, and 8 times 6 is 48. Let's take a look at example 2. In example 2, I'll go left to right again. First, I'm starting with -3 times -5. Those are both negative. Since they're the same signs, that means my answer is positive. So that becomes 15. But I've still got this -2 times -10. So I'll keep going left to right. 15 times -2, those have different signs, so my answer is negative. And 15 times 2 is 30, so that becomes -30. But I've still got that original times -10. When I look at -30 times -10, I see that they're both negative. Since they have the same signs, my answer must be positive. 30 times 10 is 300. So for number 2, I get a positive 300. Let's take a look at example 3. This time I'm not going to go in order from left to right. I can, absolutely you can. But remember that multiplication is commutative, so that means I can go in any order I want as long as I'm only multiplying. So if you'd prefer to go left to right, you can, and then you can check your answer. You should still get the same answer as I do in the end. All right? So let's look. 5 times -4. Those have different signs, so my answer is negative. And 5 times 4 is 20. I'm going to kind of save a step by saying now I'm going to do 2 times -3. Those signs are different, so my answer is going to be negative. And 2 times 3 is 6. Now I've got -20 times -6. Those signs are the same, so my answer is positive. And 20 times 6 is 120, so I get positive 120. Let's take a look at a shortcut for figuring out the sign of my answer. Here I had 1, 2, 3, an odd number of negative signs. And my answer was negative. In example 2, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, an even number of negative signs, and my answer was positive. Let's see if this pattern continues. Here I had 1, 2, an even number of negative signs. My answer was positive. Let's check if this pattern continues. All right. For number 4, I've got 1, 2, 3. That's an odd number of negative signs. I'm going to expect that my answer is negative, but I'm still going to go through and make sure I check correctly. So, -6 times -5, that's going to be a positive 30 because those have the same signs. Positive 2 times -1, those have different signs, so my answer is negative. And 2 times 1 is 2. So now I'm looking at positive 30 times -2. Since those have different signs, that means my answer is going to be negative. And 30 times 2 is 60. So -60. My pattern did work. What I'd like you to do, please, is try the next 2 examples on your own. If you do them correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's an even number. Number 5 should be positive. And number 6 1, 2, 3 negative signs, number 6 should be negative. So do these two problems on your own. Make sure you get an even number for 5, or sorry, a positive number for 5 and a negative number for 6. When you're done with this, please flip your paper over and watch the next video.